think for a second. If you've not heard the news, Ezekiel Elliott, for one more week, can play. Eventually, he's going to have a 6-game suspension. I'd probably get to that as soon as I could after the Chiefs. You want to be ready for the playoffs if they get there. But just think about being quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. Just think about this for a second. It is the number one brand in the NFL. And the NFL, of course, is the number one TV show on 5 networks. And the centerpiece of it is Dak Prescott, just a kid. So think about the enormous pressure to be the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. It's not about arm. It's not about size. Are you a grown-up? So Ezekiel Elliott can only practice today, could not practice this week. He's honestly become a really, really talented distraction. So the question is, will the Cowboys be buttoned up? I want you to think about this for a second, what Dak Prescott has dealt with this year. As the star quarterback for the most watched TV show on 5 networks in the NFL. There was the Jerry Jones anthem issue. Locker room could have come unglued. Didn't. 2-0 since. There's the Jerry versus Papa John's Roger Goodell issue. Locker room could come unplugged. They talked to him, no problem. There's Zeke's legal issues since training camp. He's been asked about it 15 times, at least on camera. No problem. And then there's Des Bryant during the game, flashing the 2, only 2 targets, the neediness of him. And yet, Dak Prescott, unfazed, calm, reliable, even-tempered. It's almost like he's a grown-up. Cam Newton couldn't answer a question from a woman at a press conference in small market Carolina on a Tuesday. He just came unglued. Why are you so tough on Cam? Because of Dak. Take Russell Wilson. Think about what Russell Wilson has dealt with this year for the Seahawks. Enormous pressure, right? Seahawks should win the Super Bowl. Michael Bennett controversy incident in Las Vegas. ESPN article comes out. Anonymous Seahawk defenders ripping Russell in the offense. It's one of the teams that met with Kaepernick, the only one. City councilwoman had an opinion on that. Worst offensive line in the NFL. Doug Baldwin shoved a coach. Incredible expectations. And it's almost like Russell Wilson's a grown-up. Calm, reliable, even-tempered. So when I criticize Cam Newton in a small market on a Tuesday press conference, when he can't handle questions, that's why. Dak and Russell Wilson this year have been swimming in controversy. God, they're just, if you were in a pool, you'd be batting away floats and toys in the pool every 5 seconds. It's just controversy everywhere with the Seahawks. Issues, national stories. Dak Prescott, national stories. Cam struggles with press conferences. 51 times a quarterback's lost a Super Bowl. And they've just answered the questions and gone home. Cam couldn't handle it. It's why I'm tough on Johnny Manziel. It's why I'm tough on Cam Newton. It's why I was tough on young quarterbacks who I think lack maturity. If you look at what Dak Prescott has been swimming in this week, this month, since camp, with the burden of being a Cowboy quarterback, and he handles all of it. Every time they interview Dak, ready, buttoned up, ready to go. And they will be against Kansas City. I'll have that in my Blazing 5 picks later. And I don't think I've seen a quarterback deal with pressure better than Russell Wilson. Remember when Russell Wilson threw that pick at the Super Bowl? Literally a minute later, he was interviewed. We'll get it back. We're okay. That's why, precisely why, exactly why I'm tough on quarterbacks. This is the most demanding position in football. And we have a world now with more social media, greater expectations, more criticism. It's a tougher job than it's ever been. I'm taking my Dak. I'm taking my Russell Wilson. Grown-ups in crisis. If you struggle with a press conference on a Tuesday, you're never going to be my kind of quarterback. So, when I first got in this business, people would say, Colin's controversial. And I always thought, I'm the guy that's always saying, relax. I'm the guy that's always saying, slow down. I'm the guy that's saying, I'm not like a 25-year-old guy in the air where I've never seen stuff before. I tend to think I'm the guy that goes, slow down, relax. It's happened before. Let's not overreact. Like Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball, to me, is going to be Dak Prescott. They're both going to be stars with huge brands. I don't think either's a superstar because I don't think their ceilings are that high athletically. So yesterday, Deshaun Watson, and this just stinks, is out for the year. It's a bummer. It's bad for fans. It's bad for Houston. He's just like a lot of fun to watch. I loved him coming out of college. I didn't understand the paralysis with the analysis. He's a big, strong, coachable kid. He'll be athletic enough for 2 years as he's trying to kind of catch up to the playbook. A little bit of Russell Wilson quality, a little bigger, but it'll take him a couple years to catch up to the playbook. But he'll, like Andrew Luck, he'll run around for a couple years, and he'll make some mistakes, but he's a really, really exciting player, and he's gone. And I'm reading a story this morning, and people are like, oh, my God, these quarterbacks, they're all dropping. The NFL is fine and getting 4 times the ratings of everybody else. Okay, let's look at who this year has been hurt at quarterback. Deshaun Watson. Well, he was a Christmas present. We didn't know. He didn't even start the year. We didn't know Deshaun Watson would be this exciting, this good, so he was a freebie. He was a Christmas present. Number 2, Carson Palmer. He's a shot fighter. Then there's Ryan Tannehill. Outside of Miami, who's running to a TV set to watch Ryan Tannehill? Then there's Teddy Bridgewater. Again, ditto. Yes, Aaron Rodgers is a huge loss because he's tied to a great brand, the Green Bay Packers, and it would be nice to have Andrew Luck back, but that's been the lost season. But just look, Aaron Rodgers is a loss. Nobody would dispute that. That would be like losing Russell Westbrook for the year. That would be like losing Bryce Harper for the year. Like he's, the Packer brand and Aaron Rodgers are kind of part of our life now for the last 10 years. But look at the games this weekend that are happening before everybody tells you I'm freaking out, the league's falling apart. I get Matt Ryan against Cam Newton in the biggest game of the year for both teams. I get Jameis Winston at Drew Brees. I get Jared Goff and the highest scoring team against Eli Manning. I get Denver's defense against the amazing Carson Wentz, must watch. I get Flacco at Mariota, must win for both. Cousins at Russell Wilson. Alex Smith at Dak Prescott. And Derek Carr at Jay Cutler. And Jay Cutler, frankly, is at least more interesting than Ryan Tannehill. And I should have Brady and Big Ben, but they have a bye this week. So, yes, Aaron Rodgers stinks, and every year we lose a quarterback. It should be noted, a couple of years ago, I went out and looked up this morning a couple of years ago. 2 years ago, we had Le'Veon Bell, Flacco, Jamar Charles, Big Ben, Steve Smith, Terrell Suggs, Des Bryant, Jordy Nelson, missed parts or all of the year. This is football. It's rough. Lots of guys get hurt. Lots and lots of players get hurt. Aaron Rodgers is unquestionably a kick to the gut to the NFL. But even Andrew Luck in that division now, Mariota growing week by week. Looks like Jacksonville is all in defensively, one of the best teams in the league. It's a very competitive division. Denver didn't have a quarterback last year. They don't have a quarterback this year, but they face Carson Wentz this weekend. That could be the most interesting game of the weekend. Broncos are desperate, and Carson Wentz has been an absolute wizard. Take a deep breath. We're all going to be okay. Everything is fine.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from the newest show on FS1, First Things First, with Chris Carter and Nick Wright.